We're actually taking bets on you folks out and back. Like how many of us can actually make you not laugh? How you doing out there? Good? Right? So as you heard the man say, my name is Freeway. For those of you who don't know me, that is my real fucking name. That is what my parents did to me. Yeah. I remember growing up, I was like, hey, Dad, why'd you name me Freeway? And he was, oh, shit, dude, I gotta tell you what, man, Quaaludes are a bitch. You could have been named so many other things, like urinal, no officer, I'm not stopping, feral. I used to get teased when I was a kid a lot, all the time. I remember this one bitch one time pinned me down. She had me pinned down, and she was like, your name is fucking stupid. You're a dummy. I hate your name. Your parents were drug addicts. And I'm like, fuck you, Grandma. Back off. Bitch. Teased all the time when I was a kid. Constantly. Anybody here, are you guys, anyone parents out there? Who's parents? I know you're a parent. Justin's mom. Anyone else parents? Yeah? Yeah, so we can talk about our kids now, right? Because they're not here, so they can't send us to the fucking cornfield. Those of you who laugh know what I'm talking about. Let's talk about our kids. Let's talk about the little bastards. First of all, children, in my opinion, are the veal of adults. Think about that for a minute, huh? I don't like kids. Can you tell? I can't stand kids. They're always begging for shit. Oh, God, I can't stand them. I want a glass of water. Can I have something to eat? Can I get a new toy? I don't want to sleep in the basement next to the water heater. Taste test your own food. Unlock the cage. No, I mean, let's for a minute, let's for a second, let's just do this. Let's break it down into some honesty about our kids. For those of you who are kids, you're not going to understand this. For those of you who have kids, you're going to get this, okay? When you're a mom, I know you're a mom. When you hear your child scream from the other room, "Ah, I'm hurt!" you jump up and you run, right? Something's wrong, you're there, right? Cape sprouts out, Mom, right? Natural. Let's be honest with ourselves for just a minute, though. Just before you run into the next room, do you think to yourself, you better fucking be hurt? I better go in there and there better be blood everywhere. Like, I want to sew an arm back on. And then when you walk in the room, you're disappointed. You're like, are you okay? Fuck, son of a bitch. And then when your kid is hurt and you have to take your kid to the emergency room, the first thought you want to say to people, my first thought is, oh, get your stuff. We got to go to the emergency room. Let's go. You're hurt. Your first thought is, shit, here goes 4 hours. Can I power drink before we do this? Oh, God. Oh, fucking kid. Kids. I don't understand. I've never understood, like, people like having kids. I'm a father. Okay, here's the deal. People ask me all the time, well, what about your son's mother? And I say to them, it's really simple. If you're going to make a bet with the devil, you should learn to play the fucking banjo. Because now I'm a dad. My son is 13 years old now. Since he was 6 years old, he was 6 foot tall. Now, I'm not joking. Now he's 13. He is 6'4", 170 pounds, and he has been tested as a genius. Not necessarily a genius. I say genius. I tell people genius. He was tested with a high IQ. I say genius, and then he stands behind me and goes, Dad says underwear first, pants last. And he does it on purpose, little shit. You think it's interesting. People are always like, oh, it must be great having a son who's like super smart. For Christmas, I bought him 3 airsoft guns. You guys familiar with airsoft guns? Yeah, you know what I'm talking about? Stop it, you fucking. He took the 3 airsoft guns. He went to his room. An hour later, he came back and he had taken all 3 of them apart, rebuilt them into one new gun. And he's like, "Where's the fucking cat?" Oh, I'm like, Jesus, dude, no. You don't understand. You can't do that. I'm always telling them you can't do that. He got you guys familiar with the show Breaking Bad? Yeah, I mean, if you don't, where the hell have you been living, right? He got really into that show. I know he's 13, go to hell. He got really into it. I mean, this kid was super into Breaking Bad. I came home, I'm a cab driver as well as a comedian. And so I came home from a ride one night and I walk in the kitchen and first of all, he has a full hazmat outfit on. And he has beakers and equipment all over the fucking kitchen. And he's standing there over a tray with a hammer, and he's going, and I look at him, and now my first question, of course, was, "Where did you get a hazmat outfit?" What does he say? "Well, you know, it's the internet. You can pretty much get whatever you want, Pop. I can get you anything. You need a wife?" And then I'm like, well, hang on. I'm like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "I'm making candy for school. I'm making what I like to call Walter White blue." So he made, I don't know if you can see this, the almost perfect blue meth. Yeah. And then he looks at me and says, "I'm going to make a bundle on this. Diabetics love this shit." I was like, "No, you're not. That's it. This is over. Clean it up. We're done." About a week later, I'm sitting on the couch, and he comes into the room, and he sits down next to me, and he's like, I'm like, "You want to watch Breaking Bad?" It shuts him up. And he's like, "Nah, show's kind of boring." "What's Dexter like?" "Oh, no." Yeah, you guys laugh. I'm fucking living with Jigsaw. I wake up in the morning, my leg's always tied to the bed, there's a saw next to me, and he's sitting there going, "Can you guess?" I got set on fire not too long, a few years ago. As a stoner, you should never celebrate a new job with a bonfire and not have a fire extinguisher around. I went outside, started a bonfire, boom, flames went up, and I told Rhythm, that's my son's name, Rhythm, because I wanted him to know the fucking hell I went through. "Here's your name, son." And now when I go to school, I tell people, when I register for school, I say his name with a beat. He loves it. And he'll come home hours later, "You dick. All day, hey, Rhythm." Anyway, so I got set on fire. I started a fire. Fire is going. I told him, "Hey, go get Dad his poker." And he ran to go get the poker. And I heard a hissing in the fire, and I looked in it, and I still don't remember what happened, but there was an explosion, and I was on fire, like you see in the movies. And you know what's funny? When you're on fire, 3 things go through your mind. At least 3 things went through my mind. One was, "Oh, God!" The other one was, "I really want to be put out." And again, honesty. There was a little bit of me who went, "This is really cool." Woo! So I had goats at the time. I laid on the ground, tried rolling myself out of fire. It was some kind of chemical that started it, so it just kept leaving a trail. My son tried to tell me it was a fat trail. I had a goats. I tipped over the trough. I put myself out. I'm laying there, and I hear zip. I look up as I feel the warmth, and my son's going, "You're smoldering." Little bastard, I tell you what. He is such a shit. We're sitting on the couch again. We do that a lot. You can tell. We're sitting on the couch, Next to us is our dog in between us. And we're watching the best part of the movie. It's always the best part of the damn movie. And next to me, I hear... I look over at the dog, who has half his fucking body in his mouth, and I'm like, "You need gravy with that? Jesus Christmas!" And the dog is just. My son looks at me and says, "You know, that is not as easy as it looks." Yeah, that's my kid. That's what I wake up with. One morning he wakes me up. It's 4:30 in the morning, and again, he's wearing a robe. But it's actually a lab coat, and he has goggles on, and he has a full suit on, and the nice shoes, a suit. And he wakes me up, Dad, wake up. Do we have any magnesium and copper wire? And I'm like, yeah, no. What do you know what time it is? He said, no, I took my alarm clock apart. Why did you take your alarm clock apart? I'm making a taser. Yeah, you giggle. Every morning about 4:30, I cry a little bit and pee my pants. That fucking thing worked once. I'll tell you this one last thing about him before I go. I have to sleep with a CPAP machine. You guys familiar with those? You heard Nick talking about him earlier. He doesn't sleep with one because he's fat, or he doesn't have to, or I do, though. If I don't have it, I die. So if you're not familiar with what a CPAP machine is, it's simple. It takes the air in the room, it compresses it up a hose that you spend all night going. So in that way you can breathe. Takes the air from the room. So yeah, burrito night is fucking a blast. One morning, you know that feeling you get when you just know somebody's in the room with you when you're sleeping, right? Just know somebody's there. I wake up, and my son has his pants around his ankles, and he has the devil's onion ring pressed against my CPAP machine. I look at him, and he looks at me, and our eyes meet, and I say, "Don't do it." And he looks at me really gently, and he says, "Do you have my allowance?" Stunk a lot. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate it.